Jimmy Mbogo, all the way from Hillsong. Jimmy, I meant to understand Boskovic Air, which is a charter flight operating out of Wilson Airport, has received its ISSA certificate. And talk to me, I mean, for starters, you're discussing here fuel. I don't know whether charter operators are also worried about this issue of fuel, or they are sitting pretty comfortable, Jimmy.
No, and gentlemen, good afternoon. And of course, one of the things that you rightly said is the question of the cost of fuel in aviation. But I'm sure the clientele for Boskovic Airline, that is not quite an issue, because their biggest concern in terms of cost is particularly how much does it cost to charter an airline for maybe an hour. And I'm told it's about $1,200 per hour, which I'm sure someone like Ken wouldn't have a problem with. But we just want to understand the importance of this ISSA certification, and particularly for a chartered airline. What does that mean for them? And when we say ISSA certification, what do we mean? We're talking about the IATA standard safety assessment certification. That is what this airline has received, and we just want to look at the net effect of that, and particularly to their customers and to their clientele. What does that mean to them? What does that mean even in terms of partnership for the airline? And I'm joined this afternoon by the head of safety, that is Simon. Simon, thank you so much for making time to speak to us, and of course, congratulations to you and your team. So talk to us about this certification. Why is it a big deal for you as an airline, and what then does it unlock in terms of partnership opportunities?
Well, thank you very much for having me here. My name is Simon, as I've said. I work for Boskovic Air Charters at Wilson Airport. I've been here for the last 13 years. Going by the ISSA certification, ISSA basically means IATA Safety Standards Assessment. This certification is critical in terms of safety, just like the word itself goes by. For a company that works with international clientele, our intention is to enhance safety, and once you have this certification, basically what means is that we have given an assurance to our international clientele and the local clientele that we are number one in terms of safety.
All right, let's talk about your operations, and I'm sure, of course, there was an audit that happened before this certification was issued. What are some of the things that you have had to change in terms of just how you run your operations?
The basic issues about the audit revolved around our procedures, our processes, what we have to do versus what is internationally recommended. So what we followed are the international safety recommended procedures or standards, which we had now to come up with all the documentation for the company, again, which has to be approved by the authority, Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, and by that is what led us to the certification.
All right, so once you've gotten the certification, and of course, we're just looking at the number of hours that you were able to fly last year, we're talking about 9,000 flight hours, and of course, you're looking at increasing that to about 11,000 hours this year. So in terms of this particular certification, are you likely to expect more charter requests, or what then does this mean in terms of the business progress?
Definitely. Highly likely, because for any flyer, the number one aspect is safety. The certification that we have just received today gives us the assurance that we are safe, internationally recognized. So it basically means that the number of hours that we have experienced before, definitely we are going to see a markup depending on how the international operators are going to appreciate it, and again, our clients.
All right, thanks so much, Simon. And of course, I know there you have it. I will try and squeeze Simon later on, just to try and understand in terms of the cost of fuel, particularly for them, how does that impact their operation? We know for most commercial airlines, the biggest concern is the cost, that is jet fuel, which contributes about 40% of their expenditure. But of course, this is a conversation that is currently going on, and of course, now Noah, you know where to go in the event that you feel like you need to charter a flight just to look at the scenic areas in the country and just come back and rest. But of course, back to you now.
Jimmy, you're the one who looks like you don't have a problem with 1,200.